What is culture? Culture is the system of shared beliefs, values, customs, behavior, and artifacts that the members of society use to cope with their world and one another, and that are transmitted from generation to generation through learning. Culture is tradition and customs that govern behavior and beliefs transmitted through learning. Characteristics of culture.
Culture is everything. It is where a person has, does, and thinks as part of society. Culture is learned. It is not biological. We do not inherit it. Much of learning culture is unconscious. We learn culture from families, peers, institutions, and media. How culture is learned? There are three distinct forms of learning. The first one is formal learning. For example, adults and other siblings teach a young family member how to behave. The second one is informal learning. A child learns primarily by imitating the behavior of selected others. And the third one is the technical learning. Teachers instruct the child in an educational environment as to what, how, and why it should be done.
Culture is shared. This implies that a behavior cannot be considered as culture if there is only one person practicing it. Culture is shared, intergenerational. Culture varies from society to society. Every society has a culture of its own and has differs from other society. Cultures are not uniform. The culture of every society is unique.
Number 5. Culture is based on symbols. A symbol is something that stands for something else. Symbols may vary cross-culturally and are arbitrary. They only have meaning when people in a culture agree on their use. Language, money, and art are all symbols. Language is the most important symbolic component of culture. Number 6. Culture is integrated. This is known as holism, or the various parts of a culture being interconnected. All aspects of the culture are related to one another, and to truly understand a culture, one must learn about all of its parts, not only a few. Number 7. Culture is dynamic. This simply means that cultures interact and change. Because most cultures are in contact with other cultures, they exchange ideas and symbols.
Functions of culture. Culture defines situations. Each culture has many subtleties which define each situation. It reveals whether one should prepare to fight, run, laugh, or make love. Culture defines attitudes, values, and goals. Each person learns in his culture what is good, true, and beautiful. Attitude, values, and goals are defined by the culture, while the individual normally learns them as unconsciously as he learns the language. Culture defines myths, legends, and the supernatural. Myths and legends are an important part of every culture. They may inspire, reinforce effort and sacrifice, and bring effort in bereavement. Whether they are true is sociologically unimportant. Culture provides behavior patterns. The individual need not go through painful trial and error learning to know what food can be eaten without poisoning himself, or how to live among people without fear. He finds a ready-made set of patterns awaiting him which he needs only to learn and follow. Culture and society. The individual is a living organism capable of independent thought, feeling, and action, but with his independence limited and all his resources profoundly modified by contact with the society and culture in which he develops. A society cannot exist apart from culture. A society is always made of persons and their groupings. People carry and transmit culture, but they are not culture. No culture can exist except as it is embodied in a society of men. No society can operate without cultural directives. Remember, the interdependence and the reciprocal relationship between culture and society. Each is distinguishable concept in which the patterning and organization of the whole is more important than any of the component parts.